everybody. How are you doing today? I hope everybody is doing well. I hope that everybody is getting something out of these videos. I hope you are starting to see the truth behind what is really going on in the world today and the story behind the dark world we live in. It is pretty horrific, the things that even I have discovered through my research. And I knew it was bad. I knew what was going on out there, but in some levels I did not. And the more I dig, the more horrific it is, the more angrier I get, the more upset I get. And to think of the people who have been put through this, it is appalling. So I hope I am touching people, and I hope I am making a difference. And please spread the word. And again, send anybody my way that you believe needs and can be woken up and wants to be. People who are looking and seeking the truth. And even if you have to work on them for a little bit, it's worth it. Because again, people like to live in denial. They don't like to face the horror in this world today. But again, if we don't, at this point, it will take over. So I left last night mainly on my words. So we're going to pick up today back into the research, and then also with some of my opinions. And I do have plenty. Okay, so after the forced abortions, the fetuses or babies. Now, before I went on to my little speech last night, we were into the forced abortions. And I was telling you the pictures are graphic. The pictures are of real situations as they were going on. Imagine it, because I cannot put these pictures up here. I cannot show them. Even if I tried, I'd be afraid of them taking my channel down. But the pictures are the reality of the awakening. A big part of it. If you have the stomach, you can go to the documentary and watch it. If you're one of those people who would close your eyes as they ask you to, if you can't deal with it, then stay here with me. And again, you still need to picture what I'm reading, because it is horrible, but it is needed. These are real people going through this in real life. And if you think it won't touch you, if it keeps going the way it's going, it eventually will, because they're fighting to do this everywhere. They want to cut down population as an excuse for their behavior, and for them to, get what they want out of everywhere. But mainly to cut down population everywhere. So don't think it can't come here and reach you. It will. It will reach us all. Especially if evil starts running this world fully. So again, this is a real situation, a real story. And this is a woman telling her story. After the forced abortions, the fetuses or baby is left with the mother, either in the bed or in a bucket. And again, in my little notes over here, I just wanted to reiterate that these are real life horror stories. Can you imagine this? Again, how cruel, sick and twisted, disgusting, etc. are these demons, because I can't even call them people anymore. You call your government, you call your government, these are not human beings. Who are these? And now, the way I read it, I wasn't understanding it, because again, I write them this small on the sides. If you can, I don't know if you can see. You probably can't see, but no, it's too reflected. But it's literally like this big. It's twisted, disgusting, etc. Are these demons you call your government? In other words, the government are the demons. You can't even call them people. The things that they're doing are disgusting. These are not human beings. This is why they want to destroy humanity. We have to stop this from happening. Now, these demon-infested people, I'll say it that way, they are murdering and mutilating women and children, and worse. It depends what area and what section we're talking about. But right now, the forced abortions, they are doing this, and these are supposed to be the people put in place to protect you, to make the world a better place, somewhere you're supposed to feel safe. And you can't, because they're literally behind the curtain doing things like this. This is your government. These are the people who are supposed to protect you, and they're actually demons in disguise of human beings trying to do good things. And again, behind the curtain, they're doing tons of evil stuff that a lot of Americans don't even know is going on out there. And it's our government involved. And when they're done over there, they're going to come over here. And they're going to do the same thing. They've already started. They're stealing your rights. They're locking you down. They're doing everything they can to gain full control. And what do you think comes next? The same thing that they're doing in these other countries. They're getting their military ready. They've told you that. They're peacekeeper military who are used to doing things like this. Because remember the last part on what actually the peacekeepers are involved with and what they do? Come on, people. It's time to wake up and face reality. The people who you put in charge to protect you are not protecting you. They never have. They've just started from here, and they went down and down and down and down on their levels of disgusting and horrific and taking whatever they can from you. And you barely have anything left, so what more can you fight with? Now they're going after your weapons because they don't want you to fight back. They don't want you to be able to fight back. As Biden says, who needs weapons like this? Well, we do. And not only do we need it to keep us safe from the corrupt government, we also have the right to have them. And honestly, you don't have the right to take them from us. But they're going to try. How many of you people are willing to give up your weapons so that they can de-weaponize everybody, so that they can take full control of you? That's the big question, people. How far are you going to let them go? Okay, let's get back to this. because I will go over all of this again and again and again until I sink it into your heads. This insane, sadistic cruelty is not followed up with any kind of support system for these traumatized parents, as we want people to know what is happening in the world with the support of the UN. The main protectors, the main ones who are supposed to be your protectors. This part is where they will show you very shocking and traumatizing pictures. I cannot show you on here, even though you really need to see them for the full effect and understanding and to see the reality of it all. I'm kind of glad I can't, because it's something you just can't unsee and will absolutely break you if you're anything like me. I would not like to have to look through them to basically post them and put them together in the video on here, but I would, if I could, to force people to face the reality of it. They are pictures of everything I just read to you. If you thought hearing it was hard, try actually seeing it. Absolutely heartbreaking for these people and babies, and horrifying that it's even happening at all. What will you choose? And what will you choose to do now? Now that you know. Having the knowledge of all of this truth and facts and true real victim stories, will you keep ignoring it? Or are you ready to make a fight? Are you ready to make change? It's supposed to be, I finished the sentence, it'll make sense. It didn't to me either. But again, when I'm taking these notes, I'm writing really fast, so sometimes I do mess up. It says, keep ignoring it. Or are you ready to make and fight for changes? In other words, make changes and fight for them. The choice you make will show and prove who you really are. Are you ready to face that as well? I pray I will see in the numbers of subs I get of the ones who will join the good fight. I can only pray they will climb. In other words, my numbers should skyrocket. If you're with us, join, show us your support, show us you're with us. With good people that choose to make a difference and want to. And join the fight for change, for a better tomorrow and future for us all. Spread the word, share my videos, bring more to the fight. Keep your faith strong, because that's what they are trying to attack. Everybody's faith. When horrible things happen, it's your faith you question the most. Don't allow them to attack or take your faith. Only us united as one and our faith strong, we will win. We must stop all of this evil out there. Of course, the United Nations Population Fund denies being involved with forced abortions, but according to their own documents, which I will post, they donated more than $100 million to China's population control program. It financed a $12 million computer complex specifically to monitor the population program, providing the technical expertise and personnel. that trained 1,000 of Chinese population control officers. In China, abortion has been used as a weapon of mass destruction. 100 of millions of lives have been exterminated. 100 million lives have been exterminated. Can you imagine? The UN Population Fund was complicit in China's population control policies from the beginning. They did not only turn a blind eye to abuses, but helped facilitate and fund them. The UNFPA funded birth restrictions. It funded forced abortions. It funded China's covert family planning bureaucracy. They also defended China's actions. Congressman Christopher Smith co-chair of the Congress Executive Commission on China in 2017. One result of the one-child policy that we never hear anything about is the surge in female infanticides that has now resulted in a disastrous sex ratio of 115 boys to 100 girls. Female infanticide means parents actually kill their baby girls. China has a cultural preference for boys, so the baby girls are killed. Do you know what that does to a parent? If you do, I will not surprise you that China has the highest female suicide rate in the world. And it is the only country listed where the numbers of suicides of women surpass that of men. Any sympathy from the UN? No. On the contrary, the UN, it is the UN, but the United Nations Population Fund presented China with a UN award for the most outstanding population control program. Are you freaking kidding me? And let's not forget their official mission to deliver a world where every pregnancy is wanted and every birth is safe and every young person potentials, is fulfilled. Potential is fulfilled. And I'm losing my light, so this is going to be a struggle for me. Under the one child policy, the Communistic Party, but by its own estimation, prevented over 4 million births. 4 million births. That's a lot. That's a whole hell of a lot. And carried out over 336 million abortions. Sorry, my chapstick is now clumping. Give me 1 second. It's going to dry up and come off, and I'm going to put some more on because it helps. But I hate when it starts clumping. Okay, sorry about that. But it helps me speak clearer. Some nights I don't put it on and I can tell the difference. But I hate when it clumps. Okay. 336 million abortions. Those are all babies that were blessings from God. Are you kidding me? Blessings. But that's what evildoers do. More children were aborted under the one-child policy than the entire population of the United States. PRI, Population Research Institution, or Institute. In April 2017, the Trump administration stopped funding the United Nations Populations Fund. Did y'all know that? Did you know that? While the fake news was bashing everything he was doing, they didn't tell you any of the good he was doing. And again, he is the one person I was talking about when I said I had the 90-10 feeling. I was 90% good with Trump, but that 10% nagged at me because I couldn't hear anything good. I couldn't find any research to back up my feelings. And though I didn't listen to any of the fake news, it's still, you hear it and it puts some doubt. And I'm thinking, this is another rich person who's entitled, who doesn't care about the little people, because honestly, none of them do. And we found one, and all his good deeds got hidden, and all his good deeds were turned into lies, and people fell for the fake news. And now look where our country is. It's time to fix your mistakes. So again, I will tell you, in April of 2017, if you didn't hear about it, like I didn't, the Trump administration stopped the funding of the United Nations Populations Fund so they could not murder any more children or steal motherhood from any more women. Okay, we're going to be talking about Albert, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Fujimori, I think is the correct pronunciation. The president of Peru, or he was the president of Peru from July 28th of 1990 to November 22nd of 2000. Okay, Peru, between 1995 and 1997, over 250,000 Peruvian women were sterilized as a part of a program to fulfill President Alberto Fujimori's family planning goals, financed by the U.S. Imagine that. Here, I'm going to ask you these questions before I start reading so I can get it out of the way. And again, give me a break because it's now dark and the ratings is small. And for those of you that don't know, I need glasses. And though I bought some reading ones, I don't know how cute or not cute I would look in them on here, so because I didn't get to pick something that would match me, I just had to grab something and go. Okay. Why do these people think they get to choose who shall live, die, or be born? If that's the case, I feel I should pick as well, or put it to a vote, since they love to vote. I say let's get rid of all these murderers, starting with these demons, then in the prisons. If there was truly a right reason, it would be that, not this BS. If we can make that kind of decisions so lightly, why do these people, if we can't make those decisions so lightly, why do these people get to make those decisions? Because I know a lot of people in those prisons that are child murderers and assaulting child, however you want to say it, in many different ways, and women and murderers. Why aren't they so easily put in the chair, given the needle? But you will go and steal a baby out of a mother's stomach and take her baby's life, and then take her life, basically, and take any chance of her ever being a mother again away from her. You will do that, but you leave these murderous scumbags, child predators, in our jails, and you feed them and you clothe them and you give them a rec room and a library and all the other things that they get that we work our butts off to pay for, to house them. And you're over there murdering babies. Are you freaking kidding me? And you people don't see what is wrong with the world today and what is wrong with this situation and what the frick is going on? You will pay to house child predators and murderers. That's okay. We're not going to put the needle in their arm. We're not going to, put them in the chair. But we'll go over there and we'll murder mothers and babies, because again, some of these mothers didn't live through what was done to them. You tell me what is wrong with that. And people here are afraid to prosecute, just like Casey Anthony, who walked after killing her child. Walked because you were too scared to convict her. But you're convicting innocent people in other countries and stealing their babies and murdering them and then laying them in the bed beside them. What the frick is wrong with people? You have to be into devil worshiping or following the evil one to do some cruel kind of disgusting crap like that. It's time to take a stand. It is time to stop this evil. It's disgusting. It's repulsive. It's a mocking of God and everything He created. And we will be getting into that as well. Try to get some light here. Okay. And this is where I look like the monster because the light is going to shine these shadows on my face. So excuse me for not looking pretty anymore. But when I do it at night and I put the light on, it looks like my whole, like when you hold the flashlight under your face. But I have to read, so. Okay. Now the brightness, let my eyes adjust. I'm so sorry. Okay. I don't know how much time I got left, but let's see. Okay. Yeah, I read my notes, so now I'm going to start back over here. Back with this president. Family planning goals financed by the U.S. Although this campaign was called the Voluntary Surgical Contraception Campaign, many of these procedures were forced. In fact, women's whose underweight children were on government food programs were threatened with withholding their food from them and their babies. Threatened. They would not be able to feed themselves or their babies. Freaking disgusting. If they refused to be sterilized. And others were kidnapped from their families and forced to be sterilized. In a little over 2 years, 250,000 women were deeply traumatized. Most of them were poor and indigenous. Are you freaking kidding me? You rob them of any way of bringing money, and what they're taking from these countries is worth a lot of money. So instead of giving them the money, they rob them of their money and then put them in these situations to choose between food and sterilization. This is your government, people. Wake the frick up. Not all women survive the surgeries, as I told you before, due to the poor hygiene in the hospitals there. I really just, I can't because I want to break down and freaking cry right now, and I am so trying to keep it together. This is beyond horrible, people. Wake up. Realize you must do the right thing. This is not okay. Give me a minute. And I've seen the picture, so understand that. Okay, I'm going to try to pull myself together and end this real quick. Because I don't believe I have much more time anyways. And I've got to add in some things. At least 100 women from my area. This is a lady's story, and I have to leave it at this because I can't. At least 100 women from my area went to the clinic that day. We were promised medicine. They went to the clinic that day because they thought they were getting medicine. They were all very very happy that they were receiving this. A lorry took us to the clinic. We all arrived innocent and happy. When we heard screams, and I just ran back to the doors, they were locked, so I could not escape. I was 3 months pregnant. The health center staff knew this. They still went ahead. When I woke up, I was sterilized against my will. This was Miss S, and I hope I don't mess up her name. Esperanza Huana. 3 months pregnant. They thought they were going to get medicine. They were trapped inside the building. They could not get out. She was then forcefully, basically, sterilized and her baby murdered, and woke up to find out. Can you imagine? I think of my little girls, and I could not imagine. And I can't believe I'm on here crying, but that's horrible. And again, I've seen the pictures. If you've seen them, you would get it. And if you're a mother, you get it. You're going to be feeling probably the same way I do. If you're a mother, you have to know. If your baby was ripped from you like that, it would tear you apart. And I put myself in these women's shoes. And I couldn't imagine. And to know that this is our government who plans on trying to take down our population for their own selfish, greedy needs. That they could reach us and they could start doing this right here where we are. You better wake up and you better be ready to stand up and fight like hell, because it will be hell for your lives and your loved ones. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is 100% real. And for you people who think that these victims are just, making it up? For what? For what? They've lost everything. What would they be making it up for and telling the stories? And there's pictures. There are pictures to prove all this. I seen them. Maybe you should go look at them before you talk any more garbage about the situation and call people conspiracy theorists. Maybe you should go look at those horrific pictures. You can never unsee it. You will never forget it. I'm going to give you the last portion of this, and then I'm going to call it quits for tonight. Not only did they murder her baby, but also made sure she could never, ever have another one. They stole her baby's life and a life from her. and a life from her. I'm so sorry. And a life from her of ever having another baby and ever being a mother again. Can you ever imagine someone doing that to you? Who are these disgusting people who think they have the right to do these types of things to people? To make these kinds of decisions for other people. They don't even take the rights of child abusers or child murderers of these situations like they have these innocent people. Criminals of the worst kind marry and have children from prison. Let that sink in for a few minutes. Yet these innocent people have forcibly been ripped from them. But these innocent people have their babies, basically, I must have missed a word, have been forcibly ripped from them by child murderers that are supposed to be leading our country in the way of peace and rights. Let that sink in as well for a few minutes. Some of you may say, I didn't know. But now you do. Some awful people will think, so what? It has nothing to do with me. To you people, that's just disgusting. But also, when it reaches you and your family, will you expect people to say the same thing about you? And trust me, it is coming. If you allow this to continue, it will keep spreading, just like a virus, just like the plague, as it has for centuries. It will reach you. That is where I'm going to leave you tonight. I hope, again, I have touched some people. I have woke them up to the truth. I was kind of not in my right mind in reading the end of this, so I hope I read it to where you understand every word. Again, when I'm writing, I write fast, and I might have missed something, so I hope when I corrected it, it made sense to you. I may go ahead and try to reread it tomorrow, this last verse, because I think it's very important anyways. So, you guys have a wonderful night. I know this is hard information. I know it'll stick with you. But it's a wake-up call, and it has to be heard. So again, I love you guys. Have a great night. And please, please spread the word. And spread it as much as you can. And try to get people to see the truth. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. I love you. And I will see you tomorrow or Monday in my next video. Have a good night.